I wanted something crunchy, and then it has dessert aspect to it, that nostalgic memory of unwrapping and ripping it. I wanted that freaking incredible experience.
Yezen?
Do you know what the hottest thing in Dubai is right now?
The Dubai viral chocolate.
FIX Pistachio Chocolate Bar.
I totally thought that this was just a trend. As time went on, people were becoming obsessed.
They can announce? How much does FIX make per year on average? How did you market FIX with $500?
I don't think marketing has to be in the hundreds or thousands of dollars.
What happened on New Year's Eve?
OMG, what are we gonna do?
Entrepreneurs usually are there to solve a problem.
On the work side, you know that this person has your back 100% no matter what.
Has FIX ever brought you closer as a couple or nearly broken you? Your father passed away just as FIX was winning an award.
I didn't want anything to do with FIX. Take away FIX and give me my dad.
In a world driven by numbers, growth, speed, we pause to ask, what drives the people behind these companies? What does leadership mean when no one's watching? So welcome to ABtalks Business. What is this series? It's a cool question, and the answer is you've seen these big organizations, these big companies, these big brands, and you think they're successful, but who are the humans behind it? That's also important. So we're here to meet entrepreneurs, business leaders, CEOs, board members, chairmen, and get to know them not only as a human, but how have they applied what they've learned through life into making a very successful business. How do they hire? How do they fire? How do they build culture? And how are they so successful? Enjoy. First question, why FIX chocolate?
Oh,
Yeah, I wonder, why did you choose FIX?
that's a good question.
It was difficult. It was difficult. We had so many names. We wanted a word that was short. We wanted it to mean something, and it was easy for people to say.
Well, yeah, from any country, FIX is one syllable. It's easy to say, but it stands for
Freaking incredible experience.
Ah, really?
Yeah. You didn't know?
No.
There you go.
I thought maybe it's a fix because you needed a fix.
Also, it's a play on words, right? So you
Yeah.
can play on it in so many different ways.
Ah.
What's your fix? Get your fix.
How did it all start?
I think the whole world knows this now, but yeah, Sarah had a pregnancy craving. She told me back in 2021 that she wanted to start a chocolate brand. And at that point, I was like, okay. But then she explained it further and I was like, oh, okay, wow. So she wanted something that was, nostalgic and had artwork and it was a dessert encased in chocolate. Like she wanted something different.
Entrepreneurs usually are there to solve a problem. So when you're thinking artwork and you're thinking I want a certain leash, how did that happen?
When you're in that phase as a woman, you go through so many different things. And for me, it's always also living in Dubai, far away from family. So, those cravings from my mother growing up was something I missed. And so when it came, I was wanting something crunchy, something elevated and different. And listen, in Dubai, we have so many great dessert brands. The competition is unreal. But it was very, very hard to find exactly what I wanted at that time. So it all started from that. And when I was sitting with Yezen and explaining into it, I also wanted that aspect of, the whole unwrapping a chocolate bar. And if you look at chocolate bars now, most of them are either foil wrapped or cardboard closed. I wanted that nostalgic memory of unwrapping and ripping it and then unveiling what's inside.
There's, I'm pretty sure this is accurate, but if I'm not mistaken, at Apple, they had a package designer, a package opening experience person. So it was the idea of how to package the product inside the box in an Apple product. So that what do you feel when you open it? That's his job.
Yeah.
His job is when I open, and when you think of any Apple product, you're like, it's sleek.
Yeah. Sure.
And then you remove the extra plastic from the phone. So when you're thinking of packaging, some people might think this is such a basic thing, but it's really a thing. How do you feel when you open our chocolate?
We need that number of that guy who's working at Apple.
Yezen, when things were tough and you thought that FIX might fail, you said, as long as we can put our kids through school, we'll carry on. Is this true?
Look, there were times where we thought, should we, just pack it in and focus on our corporate jobs? But then look, at the end of the day, we genuinely believed in the product. When we were face to face with our customers, in the small pop-ups that we were at, that feedback that we got was genuine, and it was love, and it's like, how do I get more of these? And it was a really nice feeling, to be honest. And that kind of motivated us. As long as we can keep, paying the rent and putting our kids through school, we'll just keep going. And then at least then we can say, there's no regrets. We've done what we can. And then we continue with our corporate life. So yeah.
Sarah, how did you manage being a mother to newborns, a CEO, and an entrepreneur all at once?
The truth is, it is never easy. Even as a woman and being, bringing up kids and having a corporate job and being a wife. This combination as a woman is difficult in general. Like, no matter what you're doing, even if you're not working. Before FIX, it was, being a mother, being a corporate job. And I used to travel a lot for work. So it was getting really hectic to balance all that. Even though I have to say FIX has taken a lot of our time, but it's also given us the opportunity to spend time with our kids when we want. And, and so that has brought us even closer. Like, running a business as well is difficult, right? And so having that time where you can control, where you can come back, making sure that you don't have meetings after certain times and being available for your kids, that's worked for us, I think, better and given us a much, much better balance.
I talk to a lot of, female businesswomen and entrepreneurs, and it's like they're glued to guilt. No matter what they do, they feel guilty. They're working very well in their corporate, now they feel guilty as a mother. They would be very good as a mother, now they feel as a wife. There's a lot of guilt in it.
When they're at school, I have no guilt. As soon as they finish school, I'm starting to panic, And that's because, you also don't want to be far away from them. You're always trying to grow this for them as well. Taking the shortest flight, how to get there in and out, even though if you were not going to sleep, it doesn't matter as long as we're back before they wake up to go to school. And so, yeah, there's always that element of guilt.
How did you market FIX with $500 on?
Good question.
Yeah. Because every company wants only $500 to spend.
Actually, at that time, it was a customer of ours was saying, look, you guys need to market this. You've got a great product. Why are you not marketing it? We're like, well, we don't have a budget. And then what did he say? He said, just put anything. And then we're like,
we don't have anything.
Can we put $500? What can you do $500?
It's like, I'll make it work.
We weren't going to pay a videographer at that time. So we were just doing messy videos of breaking the bar and stuff. And we actually saw over time, we're like, okay.
Yeah, we saw a great return. Really? Even it was $500. They went a long way. It was exciting. People were posting about us a bit more. People were talking about FIX a bit more. And all that was $500. So, obviously if you had bigger budgets, but the thing is, at that point, he was asking for more, but we said, this is all we have. We couldn't do more because we also didn't have the team to do more. Yeah. And so there was no point of us investing, X amount without, having the right people. And also it was all, for us, from the very, very beginning, it was also about growing slowly. It was never like, just let's go out with a bang. It was, taking those assessments and calculating every move we did. Everything was calculated.
Yeah.
Every dirham we spent was calculated because I also when I went to Yezen with the idea, etc. And he's like, go for it and let's do it. We were meant to put a deposit on a house. We had been working, a corporate life, and we wanted to build. We've been in Dubai for a couple of years, and we wanted, a family home for us instead of renting. That was money that we worked with, and is it buying a house or do we risk it and putting it into a business, right?
And even we started from dining room to small kitchen, and when I mean small, it was 4 meters squared. It was only fit one person, and then it just grew as we grew.
Organic growth is interesting.
It's more risk averse, I would say.
And it's tempting to go fast when the demand is there.
It is.
That's why I said it's harder to put the handbrakes, and you're like, no, although everybody's pushing.
And sometimes you would think about it like, there's demand. Why are you not making more? My dad used to say, grab the opportunity. Like, what are you doing? Why are you being slow? It was very hard to explain why we were being slow. We were happy with what we were doing, but at the same time,
I'll tell you something I learned from a friend, a business owner. What a lot of business people don't realize. Branch one, let's call them branches now. Branch one, extremely successful. So you get excited, you open branch two. Branch two, not making you the same revenue. So like, oh damn, but the cost is high. I'm breaking even. Branch 3, bad location. Loss every month. Branch 1, paying now for branch 2 and branch 3.
Yeah.
So you would have made way more money with one branch.
One more branch.
What happened on New Year's Eve?
God,
We were going to close early that day, remember?
we were going to close early. So we had like a tablet that basically receives the orders, and it would make this like ding, ding, ding noise. We used to hear it maybe once or twice a day, if any.
We get excited.
I would get excited. And I remember I had friends from London that day, and I went to the kitchen with them we were like, there's no point, maybe we're going to close earlier and stuff. And I was there, and all of a sudden it was ding, 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 ding. And like, we thought like
The app has crashed.
the app's crashed or something. So I switch it off and I put it back on again, and it's carrying on. And it's nonstop at this point. It's just like, it's making the noise continuously. And still trying to understand, you're not able to look at the order from how quick it's coming through. And so still thinking there's something wrong, to the point we switched off one of the apps. And then 10, 15 minutes later, there was a queue of riders outside the kitchen, and we had no chocolate. Like literally no chocolate, because we thought this was something wrong with the app. And that's when it all began.
So what did you do when you don't have chocolate?
I remember.
Cancel the order.
No, you know what? I remember. You remember
It was
we had to.
management.
Yeah, it was crisis management, and we had. So let's say they ordered the Kunafa bar and can't get Kunafa of it, and we had maybe there was none left of that. We'd call the customer and say, "We actually have another bar. Do you want to take that?" They're like, "Yeah, just take. We'll take all of it."
Yeah, yeah.
Do you remember?
Like, this flavor's available. They're like, yeah, I'll take 10. We're like, and that was it. The thing is, that's the amount we used to make, right? So we couldn't make more. And not only that, we were relying on suppliers. And suppliers, they have to get their sources and everything. And so they don't have hundreds and hundreds of chocolate just lying around. Yeah. And so that was the moment we realized, like, yeah, we're going to have to do something about this. Yeah. And at the same time, social media was blowing up.
And this was because of that first viral video?
Yeah.
After that, the bar sold out minutes every day. Customers compared it to trying to get Coldplay tickets. This small window of orders, was it on purpose or coincidence?
We just didn't have chocolate. We really didn't have chocolate. And, before, when you would order, we would deliver within 2-3 hours because they would be freshly made. But when it came to this point, we just didn't have any chocolate. We didn't have enough team to make the chocolates. And so the only way we could sufficiently try and do something about it was that we had to open at a certain time. And we started, like, it was at the beginning of it. I remember we started like 1 o'clock. I was still working the corporate job, and I was coming from a flight from Qatar. And at this point, we were able to open and close from the app. And I opened it, and I got on the flight. I thought that I closed it, and I landed, and I opened my phone, and my phone, when like it was, I couldn't read anything. There was messages. I thought my phone was crashing, and it was crashing. And then I get a call, and they're telling me, what's it called? The website has crashed. And I'm like, what's going on? They're like, there was 29.7 thousand people on this link trying to order at one time. Yeah. And that's when I was like, I remember I was calling Yezen, he was still at work. I was like, what's going on? What are we going to do? People think, we don't have chocolate. We're just doing this as a marketing thing. And like, we want to sell the chocolate. For me, that was just, I never thought we would be in that situation. And that's when we had to pivot and, decide what we're doing next.
I remember the first time I ordered it at the office, first time I ever tried it. I'm like, let's see if this is overrated. It's the hype. Yeah. And then I tried, I'm like, okay, it's good. It's actually nice. So we make it a habit now, which is nice with the family. Right. When we're on Sunday lunch, Harith, my brother, would order. But it's nice because if it's good at a certain level, you order it again.
Yeah.
If it's just for the experience, you'll do it once, like skydiving, and then probably not do it again,
Some may disagree, but I think we made a right decision at that time. We could have flooded the market with so many bars. But it was, the quality aspect was the most important. And like Yezen said, we wanted people to return. Just didn't want you to buy it once and that was it.
What's the most surprising message or feedback you received from a customer?
Definitely, there's been a lot of really good men out there who have pregnant wives who send messages, and like at the beginning, it was like, my wife in Australia, I'm here, she's craving it. I need to take it back. I can't go back home without the FIX chocolates. Those were great. And to be honest, like small businesses around the world were messaging us who were inspired by the new Dubai chocolate category, who were telling us like, oh, I was going to close down and I decided that, we're going to make some inspired Dubai chocolate crepes, and they stayed open. Yeah. And for us, that was like, what did we just do? Like, those things mean so much to us.
Fix has become one of the most copied food products in the world. More than 200 imitators from boutique shops to global brands. The quote says, imitation is the highest form of flattery. Are you flattered or annoyed?
Flattered, without a doubt. Genuinely.
Really?
Like, genuinely. Honestly.
No, zero annoyance?
No, look.
Me, I would get a bit annoyed.
if we have, like Sarah said, if we've inspired small businesses to do their take on Dubai chocolate, and we've started that category,
yeah,
for me, that's just a great thing. And I think Sarah definitely agrees, because
you're not annoyed?
Yeah. No, listen, I think in the beginning I wouldn't say annoyed. It was scary. You're still small, and all of a sudden everything's become
big players.
Yeah, the big players have come in. Everyone's decided to Dubai chocolate, and I think once people stop copying, that's the problem.
Yeah, I do agree that a big part of it is they're copying you because they deem you successful, right? But I also personally, this is my personal opinion, I do find it annoying. Only, and I'm going to clarify when. If somebody copies you out of inspiration, it's not copying anymore. He's got inspired by you and he did something similar, right? Or you're like, oh, they did this as a couple and they did something unique. I want to do it with my partner, for example. That's cool. But if they try to mimic, I don't personally like that, because I'm like, do it in your way. Call it Stockholm chocolate. I don't know.
It's probably the counterfeits is where the issue is. It's the people copying exactly our packaging, the websites that are unfortunately scamming people with our logo and everything. And that's, again, people wanting to buy a product, and, there's shops that sell FIX bars that are not fixed from inside.
Wow.
So, people have gone to that extent. And I think that is what's frustrating.
Yeah.
That part is frustrating.
The experience of
because the experience changes.
Yeah. I think it's you.
And they believe you.
Because as a customer, you're seeing it looking like.
But how do you fight that? Do you mention guys like, please check?
Yeah,
it's authentic.
Yeah, and that's why we have on our social media platforms we say where we sell only, and the outlet we sell, and that's it.
You collaborated with the Crown Prince of Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed Al Maktoum. What's the story?
I one day I'm driving and I get a call, and it's a congratulations call from the team about FIX and Dubai chocolate, and how do we get it, and then being told that His Highness wants to create a flavor specific to him. And I was like, oh my God, like, what is this flavor? Like, please don't make it difficult. And they told me what the flavor was. And I was like, OMG, what are we gonna do? And so they sent us the dessert that he enjoys. And we had 3 months to work on it. And we had the teams working on it and trying and trying and trying. And then we had to send it for testing to his team. And I had my fingers crossed. I was like, please, please, please. Like, let the feedback be minor, small, like, or maybe he'd be like, no, this is not. And at the same time, you want to make sure you leave a good impression. It wasn't just, any chocolate bar. And I remember getting the call on when we sent them, and they said it's approved. And I said, everything? And they're like, yep, excellent. And I was like, oh wait, Yezen, we just got the okay. And then, you know, they made an order. And yeah, and since then, you know, that journey alone was something else, you know, just being able to do something specific. And, you know, this is a bar that was created for him and for his guests, and was presented to many people that, you know, come into to the UAE. And so we were lucky to do something.
Why do you think the world calls it Dubai chocolate and not FIX chocolate?
That one's actually quite an easy one, you know. So when everything was going viral, people didn't know what it was, right?
Yeah.
So if you look back in the comments, like there was a lot of comments like, "What is that? Is that avocado in the chocolate? And, oh, what is it? Where did you get it from? Where did you get?" So and all the comments started to say, "Oh, I think you could only get it from Dubai. It's Dubai, 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 Dubai." And then eventually, I think people just called it Dubai chocolate. We don't even actually on our bar can't get Kunafa of it.
Yeah.
It doesn't say Dubai chocolate on it.
Yeah.
So I think it just got given the name Dubai chocolate, and everyone ran with it because it was just a different kind of filling for a bar.
Is that
Something people want?
Is that like a good thing for you or a bad thing considering it's not the brand name? Like the brand is FIX.
I think.
And you do branding guidelines and you do logo design, but still people are like Dubai
I think
chocolate.
we're blessed to be associated with the word Dubai.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
And I think, yeah, you know, it's created a category by itself. You know, Dubai chocolate now is not just a flavor; it's a whole category. In the confectionery world, whether you're making chocolates or whether you're making burgers or crepes or whatever, everyone's been inspired to do it. And so there's been a whole category for it.
There's a very like honorable part to it because you didn't push the name, but people gave you the name. And you're representing a city, and you're representing chocolate making in a country or a region never really. Usually it's Switzerland or Belgium, you know. We don't usually get placed in that category.
Yeah.
Swiss chocolate ولا, you know, Belgian chocolate ولا كذا. And it's nice that we have you guys in chocolate representing that you can make this level chocolate here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because we would never recognize for it.
Like you said, like, you know, we've grown up knowing Swiss chocolate, Belgian chocolate, and now it's Dubai chocolate.
You know what's the bigger flex? That these Swiss companies have Dubai chocolate. Like they don't have Swiss only chocolate. They have Dubai chocolate in their store.
Yeah, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
It
it is.
is.
It is.
Let's flex a little. A lot of people say your chocolates are too expensive. Do you agree?
No,
Why?
I'll tell you why.
He'll tell you what.
No, look, you pay for premiumness, right? Each bar is handmade, so each bar has a handmade design. You won't find a single bar is exactly the same. That's number one. So all the artwork is done by hand. Number two, we ensure that the quality is of the highest, and it's a big bar. It's about 200 grams. So we treat it like a dessert. So when we wanted, but it's kind of like a crossbreed of a dessert and a chocolate. So that's the reason why I believe that it's not.
I had this debate with a colleague of mine. He's like, yeah, you know, it's expensive. And I'm like, when you go and pay for these other chocolates, the Swiss one, when you go to the mall, how much do you pay? And he said 1, 2, 3. I'm like, so how come with our chocolate we don't? I said our. I'm part of it. I'm like, you know, but when you look at it, I like that there is that color splattered on it, the point that you just made that it's handmade. I think these things are so valued. They're so important, especially we were talking about AI before the recording. That makes the human touch wherever it can be, you know? Yeah. Has FIX ever brought you closer as a couple or nearly broken you? A bit dramatic.
Oh, oui.
Closer.
No,
for sure.
closer for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Closer.
Like I'm thinking also as your friend, when you do business with a partner, can it affect the romance in a bad way or a good way? Because it's stressing. Like I'm an entrepreneur on my own and I know the demands it is on a person. Is having somebody you love a relief because you're splitting the burden onto two? You know what I mean? Like she gets you,
Yeah.
she empathize with you, or it kills the romance because it's like work.
I'll tell you what it does do. On the work side, you know that this person has your back 100% no matter what. And when you have your down days, Sarah will pick me up. and vice versa. So I think from that side of things, on the work side, I think it's the best possible partner to work with. But like you said, on the other side, it's you have to, like going back to what you said about switching off, you have to switch off to give that time with your loved one.
Yeah, this is all part of the journey. You know, we didn't go through it before, and I think we learn every single day on how to cope with things, and I think we're doing a good job.
I think as long as you have the same intention of making things work, it's like two people rowing, you will find a way to row correctly.
Yeah.
It's when one has a different goal and another has another goal, it's when the boat is doing this rather than going.
Oh, that's a nice analogy. I like it.
I'm not sure if people know this, but your father passed away just as Fix was winning an award. And you had so much pressure. How did you keep going with all of this?
I think what happened is that was probably the hardest thing I went through with the success. And I think it's probably the first time I'm speaking about it, a bit nervous, but with the success of Fix, sorry. At that time, everyone was talking about Fix and Dubai chocolate, and at that point we were selling hundreds and hundreds of bars. We would open at 5, and we would close in 5 and 1. We'd get customers from around the world. Like, everyone's really upset that they couldn't get their hands on the chocolate, and we had just won this award, and we had a great night. And I go home, and I get my brother who lives in London, who is a very strong guy, and messages me and tells my other brother, who also lives in Dubai, that in our family group that my father wasn't well, and that he thought we should come. And at that point, my world came crashing down, and I took the first flight to the UK, me and my brother, and it was 4 days of hell, to be honest. It was the hardest thing I went through. So at the same time, in the background of this, I'm sitting in a hospital room with my family, and on the other side of the world, there's this brand that's growing in the middle of it, and there is no way I can physically do anything about it, because there was no will for me to do anything about it. And I was sitting there with my family. I didn't want to look at my phone. At that point, I didn't care about Fix. I remember turning in... Sorry.
Take your time.
I remember telling Yezen at that time that, oh, guys, I'm so emotional. Sorry. I remember telling Yezen that I'm take away Fix and give me my dad. I don't want this anymore. I said, if you're giving me this success, I don't want it if you're going to take away my father. And unfortunately, a couple of days later, we lost him. And it was really hard, and me going through the toughest time, not being able to focus, not wanting anything to do with Fix. For me, there was no more passion. There was nothing. I would sit next to my father, next to his hospital bed, trying to tell him, like, wanting him to know what I was doing, and God's given us something that's great. And there were times in life, where God's going to take things back. And I believe in that. But at that point, it was so hard to accept. It was really heavy. I remember telling him I was going to an awards night, and then coming out of that awards, people taking pictures and congratulating you. And then a few hours later, you're on a plane, dealing with the worst news you could ever deal as a person.
Thank you for for sharing this with me. And I think, why did I want to go to this angle is because social media can put a very glamorous idea about success, and they don't realize the hard work that you put in and you put in as parents, as the stress, as the arguments at work, at hiring, firing, managing, and then, like you said, this whole personal grief. And I think it's a very important question because people who will go through this, listening to this, or are going through this, would like to know how somebody who loses hope, because the priorities changed in those 4 days. It's family, life, health, and you want to forget everything else. Like it could be also a resentment in those 4 days. But then how do you manage to go through that and come out of it and still reignite passion or reignite interest? And because I'm pretty sure, and Allah yarhamah al-walid is extremely proud, of what you've done. Like this is beyond maybe that's what he wants for a daughter, health, kids, a great business, a great name. So I'm pretty sure all of this was great for him. Where do you see FIX in 10 years?
We always have a plan, and then sometimes you get that plan gets derailed, maybe for something even better. But we always have to plan ahead, and we have a lot of things that are coming up in the near future as well.
In the next few months, for FIX, it's a big step. We're going into London. That's a huge milestone for us. Not just because we were born and raised in London, but we're going to have a pop-up in the UK for 4 weeks at a store that historically very famous in London to many people. Never in a million years did we think we were going to be in that situation, but very excited to be at Harrods. Just for you to know.
She said it.
I'd say then. But that's a huge milestone alone.
What do you want Dubai and the world to learn from the FIX story?
Anything is possible.
I think, FIX coming out of Dubai is a great story for us Arabs. That, I think whenever I think about this, I always say, for once, the world wants what we have. When we're always like, as Arabs, we want the brands from the international markets, etc. And so now we have a brand that all us Arabs can be so proud of, that, the world wants a piece of. And we have a great, great team that we drive them a bit crazy. But I think the teams are so, so important. They keep you sane. And growing these teams is important. Delegation is important. And so having that kind of, I would say, what was the word called?
Like a unit?
Yeah, like, that unit that holds everything. So you can't do it alone.
So
You can't. Me and Yezen can't do this alone.
there's an African proverb that I repeat often. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Yeah, 100%.
You need the...
I like it.
Very true, I like
I
that.
like
Cool.
that one.
I think put it in
I
the
get with
office.
me. I
Right?
get with
Put it in the office.
Yeah. 100%.
What's the most expensive mistake you've made so far?
Right in the beginning, where we had really tight budgets. Do you remember? When we had to build the branding. Oh,
A stall.
the stall that we...
We rented a warehouse.
Oh, that was a big...
And
and
then
it didn't have enough load of power.
power. So we lost the money.
So yeah, basically lost it.
But again, all part of the journey. They are expensive. They hurt a lot. And
Makes you smarter for the next...
100%.
It does, yeah. We definitely checked load on the next.
I was just gonna say we did.
Yeah.
What do you look for when hiring someone?
So the CVs won't always tell a story, right? So it's actually some CVs that we receive and we look at and we're like, okay, it doesn't look great, but we'll see them and it's a completely different person, right? So it's all about their energy. It's not always necessarily about their experience, genuinely.
I don't think it's always about experience.
No.
Really, it really isn't. There's
Some
definitely
roles,
some
yeah.
industries, and some roles that will need relevant experience.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What does success mean to you now?
I don't want to be sitting here and being like, our success is great, me and Yezen. It's a lot of people around it. And again, It's the community. It's the people. It's the people that like, share, post, buy, come back, and help us build this brand. And for me, I think that's success.
That's what good brands do. You like them, so you're there for them, you support them, you share willingly. It's so important rather than a robot kind of corporate-y.
Yeah,
A lot of brands lose.
yeah, that's definitely, we're definitely not your typical corporate.
Fix chocolate in one word.
Nostalgic.
No, you can't use that.
Yeah, I took it from her.
Dubai chocolate.
That's not one.
That's two.
Damn. Proud.
Yeah,
Let's go with proud.
Proud.
yeah.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. The second taste just came in.
Nostalgia.